What's up, guys? Welcome to another Mixed Martial Idiots podcast. We're going to review Mario Bautista and Vinicius Oliveira fight night over the weekend. Get right into it with George Novo and Tanner Dunphy. What's up, guys? What'd you think of the card? I know Tanner's doing some homework as we speak, but I enjoyed it. What'd you guys think?
I enjoyed what I saw, and man, I saw some good shit. George?
I enjoyed watching a man that everyone talks about how his jiu-jitsu is so high level and elite not do shit for 2 fights in a row now. Maybe you should go try to fight Mikey Messamucci and let him fucking beat you too. Because striking is not your forte. Wrestling is not your forte.
Are you talking about the one that DC said can't fight?
Yeah, Almeida.
Yeah. Look, DC said it, all right? If DC said it, I can say it, okay?
Well, I don't know,
Granted,
man.
that guy can fight way better than me.
He's got 2 gold belts. He wrestled on an Olympic team. He can say some stuff I'm not allowed to say.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I got freedom of speech, brother. I could be as ignorant as I want.
George, the fight community is small, and you train now.
Yeah.
I got to remember that sometimes when we're on air, you know. I might run into a motherfucker I talk shit on here about.
It's real cold over here right now. There's people that live here that don't want to be here, let alone somebody from over there gonna come over here. Nah, man.
Yes. All right, let's jump into before we jump into the fight, the UFC review, let me run through the PFL real quick. We had PFL happen Saturday. The Road to Dubai card. The lightweight title was on the line. Usman Nurmagomedov won. He put Alfie Davis in a head and arm choke in the 3rd round to retain the lightweight belt. And then their vacant welterweight belt was on the line. And Ramzan Kurmagomedov defeated Shamil Musayev by unanimous decision. Other than that, there wasn't anybody else that most people would be familiar with on this card. There was one decent UFC vet, Carl Williams, was on this card. He lost 2nd round, arm triangle choke. And the guy he fought, absolute animal, Palestine animal, 6-0. His name is Puya, like the rapper. All right. Off of PFL, let's jump on to BKFC. Andrei Arlovski getting it done again. That is 3 times now he has defeated Ben Rothwell. Looks like we just lost the Georges.
Oh.
I'm still here, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, that is the 3rd time. Hold on, I have a statistic I want to pull up here. Where did it go? I don't know. It's gone forever. Anyways, this is the 3rd time that these two have fought, and this is the 3rd time Andrei Arlovski's beat him. Andre beat him in Affliction in like 2008.
Damn, that's an organization I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah. He beat him 3 times in 3 different organizations in 3 different decades. Ben, stop fighting that guy.
Yeah. More power to him, though. Damn.
Yeah. And it's just a testament to MMA math isn't a fucking thing, all right?
Yeah.
Andre beat him in Affliction in 2008, beat him in the UFC in like 2016, right? And then beat him in BKFC in 2026. And Ben Rothwell has knocked out a K1 fighter that beat Andrei Arlovski in what's his name? Big guy.
Bigfoot? Silva?
No. Overeem.
Oh, yeah.
He
I
knocked
forgot
out
all about that. I forgot all about that.
Terrifying Overeem, too. And then he tapped out a jiu-jitsu world champion that submitted Andrei Arlovsky and Josh Barnett. So he's beat two guys that beat Andre in the ways they beat Andre. Can't beat Andre. Andre has that man's number. Also, shout out to Andre for beating cancer. What was it? 3 times? He said.
This is the fourth. This is the fourth.
While fighting, he's doing
47
this.
years old.
Man, what
and
a
Jack Doherty
fucking
thought
champion.
he could shove that guy.
Yeah. What? Also, did you see his hand after this?
Yeah, dude.
It was destroyed.
Yeah,
Good
Rothwell
Lord.
has a head like a crater.
Yeah. So Andre got the doctor stoppage in round 3 at 1:14. Just absolutely destroyed Ben Rothwell's face. He was just busted and bloody, and blood was pouring all over it. So it became a point where it's going to affect his eyesight. Andre won the belt from him. I thought for sure Ben was going to be on a tear. He has been. I mean, he's what, 4-0 in BKFC?
Yeah,
4-0.
He was the champ, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he beat Mick Terrell, who was the champ, who beat Lorenzo Hunt, FYI. Speaking of Lorenzo Hunt won on this as well. He fought a catchweight at 199. He won in round 4, 29 seconds with a massive straight right hand, putting down David Mundell. That guy's terrifying. He went on to run his mouth to one of the co-owners of BKFC and one of the most violent men out there, Platinum Mike Perry. I want to see that fight. Will doesn't want to see that fight. No, George.
No, I'll watch it. I'm just Jake Paul beat up Mike Perry in boxing, and Lorenzo Hunt is Jake Paul's size with 1,000% skill gap in there.
Yeah, bare knuckle's a different ball game though.
Yeah, he's gonna hurt him worse.
I think if Jake fought Mike Perry in bare knuckle, it would have went different.
Yes, but Lorenzo Hunt is if Lorenzo Hunt boxed Jake Paul, Lorenzo Hunt would beat him.
That's fair. That's all right. George, what do you think? You down for that?
I'm kind of think that's irrelevant. Like I don't really feel one way or another about that, but I will continue to give the Pitbull his roses. I've watched that dude's right hand destroy people since way back in the early 2000s, late 90s when I first started watching UFC. And that guy has battled back through adversity. Do yourself a favor and watch the old episode of Bully Beatdown where he gets disqualified for head kicking that bully, which I love that. The guy's just all class, never been in any any craziness, he doesn't talk a lot on social media. He lets his fist do the talking for him. Ask that security guard. His face didn't feel no good now. Yeah, I'm all for it. Andre's a living legend. I hope though that he doesn't have kind of like the Muhammad Ali thing from all the continued fighting, But moving forward, what are you guys on to now? Our prelims from the fight night?
I want to mention one other fight on this card. We talked about it off air for a second, and that would be Charles Felony, or is it Crazy Horse Bennett now? It's Felony. It's Felony Bennett. Charles Felony Bennett, also known as Crazy Horse, had a fight on this bare knuckle card and won by vicious left hand on Pat Sullivan. He was cracking Pat Sullivan so hard, and it was, it's a rare thing to see a shot land on a fighter and then they wince and just grab their face and it's not cut or anything. But that was happening multiple times in this fight. Bennett hits so fucking hard. We were talking about how he knocked out Vanderlei back in the day in the Pride stuff before. And Vanderlei is so much bigger than him. I mean, this fight was at 145, and Charles Bennett has been the same size his entire fight career. If you don't know who he is, do yourself a favor and look up his fights, man. He's 46 years old. He's been fighting forever, and he is fun to watch. He's crazy. It's fun to watch, though. He's got a pro MMA record of 31-43-2. But he puts on a fucking show every single time. All right. Do yourself a favor. Look into Charles Felony Bennett. All right. Or Crazy Horse, as he was known back in the day. All right. That's all I really wanted to talk about on that card. Let's
Adam
move
Fowler
on.
commented on YouTube. He said he just wants to see Mike Perry elbow more people to sleep. You're going to have to see Mike Perry get back into MMA, or he's going to have to fight under his own promotion, Dirty Boxing. And
Which I fucking love it.
I think he'd do that, but here's the problem with Perry. He's jacked, not super tall. He's like 5'9", right? Something like
He's
that.
a short little guy.
If he's elbowing you, then you have a legit chance to put him the straight fuck to sleep. That's why he throws those hands like he does. But I'm all for watching Mike Perry do some dirty boxing.
I really want to see him do dirty boxing. I'm glad you mentioned that because I think that promotion is just his style, and I think he would do really well in it. You know, the moment him and John Jones went in on that thing, I was like, oh fuck! Hopefully, we get to see Perry do this. Man, I've enjoyed what I've seen of it. The promotion's kind of not there yet. It's they've only done 3 events, something like that.
Just stay the hell away from Lorenzo Hunt. Whatever you do, Mike, don't do that.
I'm here for it. I don't know. I'm here for it. Speaking of elbows, let's move on to this fight night that happened on Saturday. Batista with them elbows. We've got UFC Fight Night. Batista versus Oliveira took place February 7th, 2026 in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Meta Apex Center. And starting us off, we had a women's bout where Claudia Segula took out Priscilla Cachoeira with a unanimous decision. Took out. Got it done with a unanimous decision at 135. She just better than her. I mean, neither one of these girls really have head movement. They're not going to get far at the 135. But Claudia was just better. Priscilla was trying to throw haymakers. What did you see on that one, Will?
Just that. I think that she was a step ahead. It looks like exactly what George said last week about Cachoeira's chin isn't what it used to be. It's absolutely not. It's been pinged so many times. You can see that she visibly resets the fight in her head. As soon as she gets lit up, she has to reset the pocket. She doesn't match that zombie girl energy anymore where she comes forward. She kind of eats it and then avoids whatever's next. And then I would like to see her try to grapple more. She's a very capable grappler, but the point that George made last week about her chin, it's time. She's got a couple more fights. When she fights another heavy hitter, like somebody who can really slug, Claudia hit her a bunch of times, pinpoint, but she didn't have that smoke coming off the punches. The next time Cachoeira fights somebody that can throw heat, I just look for her to go out really bad.
Yeah, I agree. George?
Man, I feel like this whole card was kind of like your grandma's chili, man. It's spicy, a bit lumpy, and ultimately leaves you feeling full and questioning your life choices. I'd say that in this first fight with Claudia and Priscilla, Segula came out like a caffeinated squirrel, man, on Red Bull, bloodying Cachoeira's nose in round 1 and setting a UFC record for strikes in an opening frame. Talk about turning up the heat, man. She made her face look like a Picasso painting. But then her gas tank dipped like my motivation on leg day, and she coasted to a unanimous decision. I think Cachoeira looked like she was auditioning for a zombie flick by the end, earning her nickname. And Segula's smooth hands and ATT training showed how immigrants grind to build legacies in this game, proving MMA is a melting pot where the heart trumps hype every time.
Okay. All right. Bout number 2, where we had Jacob Wicklack. We had some controversy here. And missed weights. Good Lord. Jacob Wicklack makes weight, but his opponent, Mine Gofurov, does not. Misses weight, weighs in at 141 instead of 135. He was allowed 136. Still miss.
141 is crazy work.
That's 5 pounds, dog. He said,
crazy.
yeah, I'm not doing that shit.
At
What
all.
the fuck? And you know
Jeez.
what? I'm glad it went this way because of it. Jacob Wicklack, anytime you put your fucking head anywhere near his hips, he's gonna grab that guillotine. He's going to 100%er. And he's good at it. He should. I'm not saying don't do that. I mean, look, the man has 11 submission wins now. All right. He's got a wicked guillotine. Okay. You should have known that. We should have known that coming in, right? Anyways, he gets it in very late in the 3rd round. And it is
4 minutes and 59 seconds of round number 3.
Well, it was he wraps it up, what, 20 seconds before that?
Oh, yeah.
And
no, he shot at the 10-second clapper.
Was it 10? Okay.
The dummy shot on him with 10 seconds left.
Jeez. Yeah, but he got super deep. He got to mount with it. And then Mine tried to, I don't know why he tried to contest that shit too. Because he clearly taps with the left hand, then he taps with the right hand, realizing the ref's over here. And then the buzzer goes off. Yep. And also submission of the night award for Jacob Wicklack on that, I guess. Or performance of the night. He got 100K. So
that's what's up, man.
That's a fucking win. Right? What'd you see, Will?
He's so fun and he's a very promising prospect. He reminds me a lot of like Ryan Hall in the aspect of the striking, where Ryan Hall used to just come out and throw like hard kicks and dare you to take him down. Wicklax comes out and he just goes, I'm going to stand right here. I'm going to throw a bunch of shit at you that's just meant to hurt you and hope that you try to grapple me. And then he looks like a roly-poly-oly all over the octagon forever, for however long it lasts. But the dude is a straight leech when he gets a hold of your neck. He has great submissions. He throws stuff from every position. If he's in bottom half guard, he's fighting to get, a base. And then he can go to his leg locks. He's going to try to arm drag, go to your back. He's just, he's conditioned to go to the moon and back, right? Obviously, he's 14 minutes and 59 seconds into a fight, and he pulls off a guillotine, which takes a lot of upper body strength and a very intense squeeze to get done. And he was able to do it. And he's going to be dangerous, man. He just needs to figure out that striking. He needs to get off the center line. He needs to work a jab. And if he works those hands and causes damage, maybe he has guys panic shooting more often. And if you can have guys panic shooting, a guy with 11 submissions, he's going to fucking just take everybody home, man. He's very promising, very exciting. I can't wait till he fights again, honestly.
Yeah, I can't either. George?
Man, this was a split round roller coaster, man, until the final seconds of round 3. Gafurov dove for that takedown like he was late for a Black Friday sale, only to get caught in that gilly. That is a tap at 4:59 just between for the bell. Gafurov tapping out, man, like he owed that dude money, and he turned a dominant round into a meme-worthy chokeout. This is his second UFC win and his first finish, and this reminds us that MMA rewards patience. One split-second mistake can erase 15 minutes of work, a brutal lesson in the fragility of dominance.
What a resume this kid has, right? He comes out, he beats up Patchy Mix, short notice first fight in the UFC. Then he has a resilient fight for 14 and a half minutes and then strangles the guy. That's a promising prospect.
Yeah, he's good, man. I think, didn't he trains with Joanna?
That's her like star pupil.
Yeah. And
But
he's
his
got this
kickboxing's
kind of
not good.
grappling. So that's what I was getting ready to say. He's got this kind of grappling. So hopefully that striking starts really shining through. I mean, it's not good. It's not horrible. All right.
It's
We've seen
violent.
worse. Yeah.
It's violent. It's just not clean. And she is so polished. So hopefully
Uh-huh.
you're right.
Moving on to two people that said, fuck it, we're giving up on weight. We've got Kong Wang, the Joker, getting the unanimous decision over Eduarda Mora. Both these women weighed in at 127. I believe Kong actually weighed in 127 and a half, and Mora 127. Kong she's still got to work on that grappling. It's not where it needs to be. Her striking's great. We know that. She's got the exact opposite problem of Jacob.
Yeah,
You know, she needs to work on that. She needs to go 2-3 years Dagestan, forget. All right. And then we'll see an absolute murderer in that division. Also, she needs to lay off the cheeseburgers or whatever it was,
Yeah, both
Figure it out. Figure it out. You're professionals. Will?
I saw Eduarda Mora fail herself. I think she's gonna watch this back and be like, "Man, I could have won this fight in so many different situations." And she looked like she came like ain't got no gas in it. She had no gas, like she had no sense of urgency. And once she got into positions where she could dominate, it looked like she was just so urgent to keep it that she just gassed herself out. Very disappointing for Mora. And Wong Kong, it's not a situation where you need to be celebrating after this. It was a sloppy. I don't think it was a unanimous decision. I think it was a split decision at best. It was a really rough fight to watch. Both you guys miss weight. I don't know. I don't know. These guys need to really perform in their next fight. It was a bad look all the way around.
Yeah, I agree. George?
Kong is now 4-1 in the UFC. I think Mora's grappling looked like she was hugging a porcupine, desperate but doomed. I think that Kong gave me the same vibes of the card we watched maybe a week or two ago with O'Malley. She looked the same, flustered, and kind of looked at the ref like, well, she's not doing anything. Stand us up. It was the same thing. Like, go work on that craft. Go work on that part of the game. We've seen her before go in and piece people up. She has the tools to be a really good, devastating striker. So if you want to keep it standing, learn how to keep it standing. Or if you can't keep it standing, become such a problem off your back that they stand back up.
Yeah, exactly right. I had to go as far as to dedicate the rest of my martial arts career to being good at jujitsu. And I'm a striker just so an asshole like Tanner would get the fuck off me and I get a chance to punch him in the face. So you got to go outside your comfort zone.
I will not get off of you. Okay. All right. Moving on. We had Javier Basharat getting the unanimous decision over Gianni Vasquez. Also, another fucking weight problem. And the last weight problem, thank God, everybody else made weight like a professional.
This was another big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Vasquez, 141.
Oh, yeah. Crazy work. Wow. A weight
Must have been
class
hanging
almost,
out with
guys.
Gufarov. I don't know what they were doing, but they both
Gufaring
weighed
off.
in. They were fucking off, yeah. Both of them weighing 141. Both their opponents weighed 135.5. Ridiculous. And glad he lost. What do you got on this one, Will?
Basharat low-key showed out. I mean, this guy was bigger than him, and his boxing's good. I mean, Vasquez, Mexican boxer. What do we always say about boxing the Mexican? You're going to get pieced up if you stand there in front of him. His footwork was good. He was getting out of the way. I know a lot of people were upset, but you have to take into account, the weight discrepancy. if I didn't go through the suffering of losing the weight and getting down there, then my body's not going to be in as bad as shape as Basharat's. And so Basharat didn't have the luxury of having an extra 5 pounds of muscle, of water weight, of hydration. So Basharat made weight, went through it, took the punishment, and won the fight. And I think the right guy won. And honestly, Vasquez has no reason. If you miss weight, and then there's controversy within the fight as well. Well, I feel like that is instant karma, and that's on you, bud.
Yeah, I agree. George?
Getting yelled at by my dog. I'm yelling at her for not eating her food. Finish your food, you can get out. Man, this fight too. Another one that was kind of just sloppy. I think that these divisions are too deep to have performances like this and think that you're going to go far. This guy looked like he chugged expired pre-workout elbows and punches, ran like confetti at a pity party. I don't know, man. Both the Bashrat brothers to me seem like they get too cute and then they get caught. You're not
Think
gonna
they're
be able.
cute?
You're not gonna be able to fight like that with the spinning attacks and try to go against someone that's a pure striker. Doesn't work. Look at the same thing that happened to your girl. What could have happened to Shevchenko? She got caught with a spinning attack,
Oh, stop
and
it.
then she had to go through the whole entire Alexa Grasso bore fest until she
Why's she
grapple
catching
fucked her to death.
strays? That's fair. I agree. Yes. All right. Let's move on. We had Gervonta Davis taking out Bruno Brazil, unanimous decision at 115. Ketlin Souza, I should say. Tell me she don't look like Gervonta Davis, all right?
Dude, yes, she absolutely does. Some of these, a couple of fights, I feel like the judges got wrong. And for this to be a unanimous decision is crazy. I feel like Brazil won the first round. She was getting out of the way. She was piecing up Caitlin Souza. I feel like she did enough to win the second round. She got hit one time at the end of the round, right? And I don't think one moment should sway 5 minutes of work. And then yes, she came with the pressure, and she was super violent in the third round. But I think Bruno Brazil won that fight. It was a tough watch, snooze fest. Both girls only had a couple weapons, and they were showing them the whole time. Caitlin Souza was throwing that overhand and with that left hook behind it. Bruno Brazil was throwing that pot shot jab, trying to set up a knee, and she didn't have the pop in the knee to drop Souza, so Souza just kept eating it. And that's another reason I feel like Bruno Brazil won that fight, because every time she stuck that laser jab out there and went knee to the body or knee to the face, it landed.
It was
I
a
don't know.
clean jab.
It was a clean jab, but it was a rough fight to see the verdict of. I feel like Bruno got robbed on that one, and so did my freaking parlays.
It's okay. It'll be all right. George, I know your parlays got touched too.
Man, just like another fight later on tonight, these girls stalled out more than my Ford Ranger on a stick shift on a hill. This was just blah. Another thing where you come into a fight with only a few techniques and thinking good enough is going to get it done. And sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes you could have all the weapons and you run into somebody that's built like concrete and you break your hand trying to knock them out and it's not working. I don't know. Souza ends a 2-fight slide. Excuse me. I don't know. This is gonna be what's next for both these girls.
I don't know, honestly. Nothing. Hopefully nothing.
The PFL.
The PF. Go over there, get beat
Dakota
up.
Ditcheva is gonna sleep both of them for another $100,000 bonus apiece.
Yeah, at the same time. All right, let's move on to the first.
She said, "Hi, Uncle Sam."
Hi.
There's George.
The first TKO of the night. we have Nikolai Veretinikov, who is terrifying. Getting a standing TK over Nico Price. Nico tried to
Throw it in the
contest
trash
it,
for
but
daddy.
I was 100% on board with this standing TKO.
Yeah.
From the moment Nico closed distance and got tagged with like a 3-piece in like 2 seconds, I went, oh no, we might see Nico take a nap. I like Nico Price,
Man.
you know? And then it just, that Nikolai is a problem. He's so fast. He's very technical, like very precise, and powerful. Very powerful. But you know who stopped him? Mr. Van Zant.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Nico Price doesn't have the wrestling that Mr. Van Zant does.
No.
And Nico Price has been in
No.
so many freaking wars. That chin has been beat up so many times. When Robbie Lawler, now listen, this is not shade on Robbie Lawler's power, Robbie Lawler's name. Love the guy's a hero of mine. But when Robbie Lawler was in that collar tie and he hit him with just like a uppercut from 4 inches away and it shut Nico off, that was a time to look at Nico going either up a weight class or maybe walking away. He's very old in the sport. He's in his late 30s. He cuts a lot of weight to get to 170, and he was absolutely asleep on his feet against the fence. I sent a text to our group chat. You know, he was upset at the ref at first. He's like, yo, what's going on? But Nico was drooling along the fence. The only reason he was still up is because his fingers were caught in the chain link. If I'm the coach of Nico Price in that moment, I'm going in there and I'm overcome with emotions, hoping he's okay. So
Yeah.
in my eyes, I'm just thankful that the ref stopped him. I would not be upset at all. Nico needs to go to the drawing board, guys. He needs to do something else. I think.
He's very much
Big Nico Price fan as well.
His nickname is the hybrid, and that style can work. It just can't work against a very technical, powerful striker. You're going to have a problem with that one. You can't try and do fun, goofy, weird shit in there, you know? It doesn't work against a guy that's going to come in and box your face off. All right. George, what do you think on that one?
Veretanikov, man, his second UFC win after prior frustrations proves that technical patience pays off. MMA is not just violence, it's chess with fist, where one move can end the game.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it was a bunch of moves. So Nikolai did a lot of moves. Nico tried to move out of the way and couldn't.
It's like when your brother unplugs your controller and you're playing Fight Night.
Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what that was starting to look like.
I can't even hit it back.
All right, and our featured prelim also at 170. Daniil Donachenko. Man, Alex looked like he was in trouble in the first round, and then it was funny. I messaged our group chat. He was shooting those great guard, even when he was fucking cracked and out of there. That guard looked great, didn't it? His guard retention and his constantly shift his hips off to the side, gather an arm, present a threat. Right. He constantly was shooting that arm bar, and I saw that and I messaged our group chat. I was like, man, he needs to learn how to switch to the triangle, because Daniil was just yanking his arm out and not changing his posture very well with it. And I was like, man, if he switched to the triangle, it would be perfect. And then he goes to his corner, and his corner's like, you need to focus on the triangle. Also, he's beating the shit out of you. So,
Saif Saud, he's a great cornerman, isn't he? Any audio you get from him, he's always like completely honest with his fighter. He's encouraging. It's a little funny, right? You know, but at one point, Alex Morono, he's like, you got to start checking those kicks, the calf kicks, which were killing Alex Morono. I mean, from the first one Donchenko landed, Morono was in a bad way, and rightfully so. Morono's one of the toughest human beings that walks the earth. I think this was his 24th UFC fight.
Yeah,
he's not a guy that takes damage and just like it hurts him. You know, he's kind of a zombie, and he took a beating in this fight too, but Saif Saud said, "You got to do something about those leg kicks." And Alex Morono said, "They fucking hurt." And Saud said, "I know they fucking hurt. That's why you got to do something about them." So they're translating that in the corner. But man, Daniil Donchenko, he's just so dynamic. He's like a big Rafael Fiziev. The threats that he presents, the way that he can move, the power in his hands. Oh my goodness, does that guy have big power?
He
That
does.
calf kick is so nasty. He's got a good switch. And I'm glad. My favorite part about the whole night for him was not just the performance. He was actually disappointed in his performance. He said he could get hit less. I agree with that. But it was
That's
because
what I was going to point on.
he was so critical of himself in the post fight. He said, "Yeah, it was exciting, but I fought like an idiot. I can only do this so many times. I'll be in a situation where someone will put me down or put me out, or I'll be behind and lose." So he just won the Ultimate Fighter. He goes in there. He has. Did they get a bonus for that? They should have got fight. That was an incredible fight. Those boys went the hell at it.
Bud.
No bonus. That sucks. He goes in there, he does something like that, and then he's hyped up and he's not being arrogant or cocky at all. And he just lets the media know, "Hey man, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that, but I probably shouldn't do that anymore."
Yeah.
That was great.
That's awesome to hear. I didn't hear his speech afterwards. Yeah, that is great to hear that he is that critical of himself, because that was my biggest complaint, is he had no head movement. He didn't move his head. He was there to get hit, and Alex cracked him with a few big ones. And if Alex is cracking you, nothing against Alex Morono, he's great. But if he's cracking you, there's some way better strikers in that division. We saw one of them right before that.
I would say welterweight is the strikers division. What do you think, George?
Man, there's a lot of them out there. They're it's hard to say that's only the strikers division, because whenever you say that, I guess I look for people that have like that creepy like Mike Tyson knockout power. I don't look at guys that are technical at volume, that have like all the flashy roundhouse kicks and spinning attacks. Like how many people got like Poeton power? That's
the only reason I call it the strikers division is if we look at the top 5, and I know Islam is the champ, but people sleep on Islam's striking. He's so dynamic, he's super powerful, and he's very technical. And then we have Jack Della Maddalena. I know we just saw Leon get knocked out, but who did he get knocked out by? The Poeton of 170, talking about Carlos Prates. And then your number 1 contender currently, Ian Machado Gary. All those guys are just straight strikers in my book, aside from Islam, obviously. You got Michael Morales in there throwing bombs. So for me, if any division is going to be the hardest one for a striker to touch gold in, it's definitely 170.
I feel like 170 has always been that way. 170 has. I mean, look at your champions of 170.
Well, GSP right there, the GOAT.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm going to jab you to death, but I'll definitely hold you down."
I mean, we start off. We have who's the first one? Was it Carlos Newton?
Yeah, that's the guy that got slammed on his head by
Matt Hughes.
Matt Hughes, yep.
Yeah. Then we had George. Then we had Matt Serra. Then we had George. And then we had George. And then we had George.
Yeah.
Right.
There was some Johnny Hendricks in there.
Yeah, sprinkled a little Robbie Lawler.
Yeah. Right. Jack Della.
Yes, and we can't forget Kamaru Usman.
Leon. I mean, it is definitely a striker's delight there. But yes, he's right, though. George is definitely right. If you're going to say the strikers division, Poeton is the king of strikers currently.
That's fair. But he has 2 divisions he's fought in. Yep. So, which division are we saying would be more strikers full? Out of his 2, 185 or 205? I'm gonna say 205.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 205 too, because you got your guys' goofball that you love so much from Africa that totally just
Wait, who's that?
Duplessis.
That's
Oh,
85.
Yeah, well, he fought 185 too. Fought Izzy in that, so that's the division I thought you were
That's
referencing.
no. That's he lost
not
because he
heavyweight.
lost. What's his name? That's Hamzat's
Hamzat,
champ at 185,
hmm
and he beat Duplessis. No,
Yeah.
Duplessis is not. That's not my boy. That's not my boy. That's all Will.
I'll
All
do
right.
I'll do my impression of his striking. It's like the UFC game.
That's his grappling too. He was trying to go under that Derek Lewis just stand up.
Right. His whole training camp for Hamzat's game plan was, I'm big.
Yeah. I'm good and big. That's what he said.
Me strong.
All right.
He fights like Eddie Gordo from Tekken.
What we got? Yes. I agree. Prates should be next up at 170. But I don't know.
Oh.
It's all on who Islam wants to fight.
Kamaru.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be
Speaking of
Kamaru.
I think it's going to be Kamaru, which I get it, but at the same time, Kamaru has only lost like what? His last 4 or 5 Kamaru's lost. When was the last time Kamaru won?
He beat Joaquin Buckley in his last fight.
Oh yeah, in Atlanta, and then before that
He lost 2 to Leon, and then he lost the 1 late notice fight to Hamzat.
There was one other one. Wasn't
Was
there?
there? No, sir.
So before we move on to Jacoby and Julius Juicebox Walker, all I got to say about Morano and Donchenko is that Morano's leg looked like overcooked spaghetti by the end of that. Donchenko was chopping wood like a lumberjack on
Yeah.
roids.
Yeah, he was.
Those are disgusting leg kicks, dude.
Yes.
They hurt me. Like you know you're kicking the shit out of somebody when they immediately go to the ground when you're taking their base off them completely.
As Adam has pointed out, Boras fights so infrequently. Yes, the Kamzat. He do not fight much, and then he wants to get online and talk shit about fighters who fight like 5-6 times in a year. Wild to me.
I can't stand that guy.
He said, "I love DDP. DDP by Cartoon Anvil."
Yes.
You know, he would totally get more points to me if he came out to the Looney Tunes theme next time he fights.
I'm here for that.
He's not broken.
I'm all here for that. All right, let's move on to the real strikers division as we've figured out, 205. We have Dustin Jacoby, the Hanyak, getting it done, getting that 25K bonus, knocking out Julius Walker in round 2, 142 in. Will, tell us about it.
What'd we say? If you're a D1 wrestler and it's early in your MMA career, cool. You can try to fight Dustin Jacoby because then you maybe be able to control the environment you fight in. If you're Julius Walker and you're a jiu-jitsu guy and your takedowns aren't the best, he got Jacoby down and for a little bit. He got control of him for a little bit.
He also
but Jacoby,
got in a Darce for a moment.
and shout out that Mark Montoya. He said, "Hey, that looks great. You're not going to finish it. Let's just get up." So he got up, and I love to see that. That's what your cornerman's there for. Honesty, man. Honesty. Not this is beautiful. Shoot it. Go for it.
Yeah, no, you got it. You got no. You're not. You do a great champ.
Yeah, just get up and what he do? He weathered the storm. Julius Walker. He's got good potential. He's gonna be a good athlete. He's gonna do well if he can figure out how the wrestling because he's got the size for the game, right? But Dustin Jacoby. If you're on the feet with Dustin Jacoby and you can't get it to the floor, you're on an island. You're on an island, and you need to figure out how to hit him back, or you need to figure out how to get it to the floor. What a fight!
Yeah, George, how much you like it?
Oh man,
you like it.
The first round of this, Julius got him a couple times. He slammed Jacoby like a reject from the WWE, and then the script got flipped. He staggered him with a TKO and put this man on ice skates. He looked like Bambi, just on the ice. It was so bad. It was like doing the Running Man. Oh God, blah, 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 and then he's gonna fall. He's gonna fall. Oh yeah, he's down. He chased him down and locked onto this dude, kind of like our favorite arc. It was like getting nailed by a rocketeer, dude. You were not getting away from that laser beam. What a fight! Give me some more of that.
Yes, give me more Hanyak. I'm here for it.
Hey, if they could realign that Jimmy Crute Dustin Jacoby fight, give me that. Nothing like those
Taking
two
that.
slugging. They will stand right on the monster
Mhm.
logo and throw nukes for the entirety of it.
Yes. All right. Let's move on to a bout that I thought was a robbery at 135. Fareed Basharat getting a split decision over Jean Matsumoto. Will, did you think it was a robbery? And tell me why you thought it was a robbery.
Dude, it was 100%. Matsumoto might have taken some shots, but was he on the front foot, the lead foot the whole time? Was he the bigger aggressor? Did he successfully get up every time he got compromised and hit the mat? Yes. Was he doing more damage? Yes. Was he controlling the cage? Everything you look for a guy winning based on pressure, he had going, and I'm very disappointed that the judges dropped that one too. Basharat, he's flashy. He's going to have good footwork. He's going to have moments where he lands something big. That's just the style that he has. But he doesn't have power sustained over rounds. He's not going to beat somebody down, right, and dismantle him. He's going to just be flashy on you. Matsumoto, I think the guys in the division, if you draw Matsumoto next or you draw Basharat next, they're going to be more scared of that Matsumoto name, more worried about that. I feel like Basharat is a guy that's not going to take you to the woodshed, and Matsumoto definitely is.
Yeah, I agree. Will? George? I looked at the bald one and I said,
Just go. Matsumoto, man. Basharat cut him early with an elbow, man, and blended strikes in with the wrestling. Took this to a split decision. I think Matsumoto was left bleeding, like he headbutted a cheese grater that Caleb Williams was holding. Fuck the Packers.
Oh, nice.
This was his 6th UFC win, and that makes him undefeated pest that nobody wants. 15 straight overall is nothing to sneeze at, but this definitely could have went the other way. I think it was purely the optics. If you're looking at damage at the end of the round, Matsumoto looked like definitely you should have seen the other guy type of thing.
yeah.
And if he would have not had so much damage, maybe they would have gave it to the other guy. Razor thin decision here. Again, he got too cute. He did the same thing his brother did. Started throwing spinning kicks and hit him a couple times with some combos, and then he got caught. And I was like, "Oh shit, the underdog's coming back." And it was a good fight, competitive fight. I look forward to seeing him get back on the bike, man. And whoever he fights next, man, I think he's gonna put him down.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's talk about this fight of the night.
Oh my God.
Did we call it or did we call it?
Yeah. Almost perfectly, too. I said late third round knockout. And old fucking Mark Andre, with 2 minutes left, was like, I ain't hear no bell. And
I'm just saying we called this as fight of the night, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
I'm pretty sure I remember saying, hey, fight of the night, get your popcorn out. All right. This one won it for sure. And fuck, it was awesome to watch. Did you enjoy it? I enjoyed the shit out of this one. Michal Olajaychik getting the unanimous decision over Marc-Andre Barriol, and both of them leaving with a 100K bonus. It was a fucking awesome fight. Will, tell the people about it. I gotta run and turn the oven on.
Michal Olajaychik was the technical guy. He's getting cussed out in between the second and third round by his coach Pablo of the Fighting Nerds because he was trying to turn it into a barroom brawl, and that plays right into the hands of a guy like Marc-Andre Barriol. Marc-Andre is just a tank. His cardio held up, his chin held up. Olajaychik was doing exactly what I thought he was going to do, working that body, that vicious straight left to the body, slipping Marc-Andre's cross to go to it, and then coming back with the floater rib shot off the hook. taking that laser left hand up high. The only problem with my parlay was I picked Olajaychuk to win via late third round knockout, and Mark Andre's granite chin just got him home. But other than that, we knew that Olajaychuk was going to snipe him apart, and he did so. What was your favorite part about that boxing clinic, George Novo?
My favorite part is the fact that these dudes swing like drunk uncles at a wedding. It was like close quarter, straight up fighting in a phone booth. This is Olajaychuk's third straight, 10th UFC win with the Fighting Nerds, and this highlights his reinvention, man. Fighters evolve or perish, a deep truth about adaptation in life.
This dude can fight his ass off.
He has evolved so much.
He can strike like the flow state he hit was just nuts. The only thing I saw that was bad was when he got super confident and Mark Andre would dink him. Other than that, dude, if he keeps it clean, a lot of dudes are in trouble.
Oh yeah, and since starting some training with the Fighting Nerds, man, he has looked really good.
Poland went 3-0.
Oh man, hell yeah! All right, the Polish power is real. We could just skip over this next one.
Polish perseverance. That's what it was.
The snooze fest of the century, Rizvan Kuniev getting the unanimous decision over Jailton Almeida. Like we said earlier, Jailton can't fight. So
I wasn't super impressed with Rizvan either, bro. He looked like he was having some cardio issues himself.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like he had a little gyno going on, and he's been popped for steroids before. The back knee was going crazy. We saw you trying to cover it up with the cupping. All right, that doesn't work. Also, this is why weight classes exist. Because Jailton Almeida being 240 pounds, while he might be yoked and look beautiful on the cover of Men's Fitness, Rizvan Kuniev is 265 pounds, guys. And he throws that weight around like a 265er. If he was the same size as Jailton Almeida, he might have lost. But he just bullied him the whole time. There wasn't a lot of technique going on. It looked like two guys fighting over a biscuit. And I'm not here for it ever again. I think Jailton can go to the PFL and win himself a championship. And I think Rizvan needs to go back to Russia where he can stick himself with needles and just fight for, Boar's Nest and Honeywell.
Okay. All right. Jesus. George?
This had more clinch time than a romantic comedy. Almeida's low output was like he forgot his keys in the locker room. Kuniev topples number 6 for his first UFC W, and that's going to catapult him. Reinforcing the fact what you guys said is that the heavyweight division is completely ass right now. Please, for the love of God, Poetan, put on that fat belly and get in there and start sleeping, motherfuckers.
Don't put on the fat belly. Don't do that.
He's so jacked.
Do it right.
That's what's crazy is right now, Poetan is the same size as Jailton Almeida, and Poetan would have his fucking way with Jailton Almeida.
He would have his lunch money, dog. He would say, "That's mine. Thank you for lunch."
Bro, they about made me break out the black horn rim glasses and the fat checkered fucking coat. I was about to go off like Chris Farley, circa Matt Foley on that fight, screaming at my TV, "For the love of God, learn how to grapple!"
It's crazy. Like, Jailton's a phenomenal grappler.
Did you document? Were you listening to reading our text in the group chat as that fight was going down? Because Will was like, dude, he's like, it's hard to get a guy down when he's got weight on you. I'm like, you are a jiu-jitsu black belt. You have championships in jiu-jitsu. He's sticking his arm in your armpit. Fall backwards and grab it. Snap that shit. That's what you do. He's literally giving you his arm. Like
the booby sweat, though. It's
he's
the
just
booby
like,
sweat.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Rizvan is a tricky bastard too, and he maxes out that heavyweight, right? He cuts weight to make heavyweight, whereas Almeida walks around at like 240.
Yeah, he's a light heavyweight.
Yeah, he weighed in at 241 on this one, but he's weighed in at like 230 before.
Man, throwback to that PFL card that happened. I literally saw somebody counter a guillotine with a leg trip to get out of it. It was beautiful.
Somebody
That
should
guy,
have told Vinicius Oliveira about that.
I'm just saying, it was crazy. He got
Or
the
not
dude's
Vinicius.
neck. He popped down like he was going to single leg off to the side, and then he got his leg behind it, did an outside trip when he was close to the fence, and that guy, fell right off of it onto his back, and the guy got him out and proceeded to beat the living shit out of him for trying to choke him out. That's
My
what I
bad.
love
I
about
meant
MMA.
Gufurov was the one that lost by guillotine. Oliveira
Mm.
lost by rear naked choke.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to our co-main. Yes.
Somebody better hit Dave.
Kyoji Horiguchi
Oh, baby.
getting it. Unanimous decision over Amir Albazi at 125. And Amir didn't look bad. He just lost to the future champ. All right. Kyoji is a problem, dude. That guy stays on the bike. He hits like a tank. You can't grapple with him. What do you got, Will?
He makes weight too, right?
He makes weight. He makes championship weight.
He makes weight. He keeps his feet moving. He's never stationary on the center line. He's got such a high fight IQ. I mean, he sets up everything he does, and he's got layers to his game. He changes his game per round. In that first round, he's fighting behind that jab. He's working the leg kick. He's trying to touch the body. In that second round, he's throwing the two, then working the hook off it and throwing the high kick off that. In round 3, he's beating up the leg and then taking the front kick, trying to get him in the face with it, and then working that hook. And he's got every tool you could ask for in a striker. And guys like Mike Brown have always said Kyoji Hiraguchi is the most talented athlete at American Top Team, not in his weight class, the most talented fighter in that gym. And if you can see the vastness of American Top Team, just the plethora of champions that come out of there, for them to say that about Kyoji Haraguchi, and then you see what he puts out there, like he's in line for that belt. If he's not in line for that belt, then it's a severe robbery. That line should be super short. It should be Manel Kopp, right, and Kyoji Hiraguchi.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the holdup is, but great fight for him.
Who's the 125 champ right now?
Josh Van. Oh, Pantoja.
Yeah, that's what the holdup is. No, it's Josh Van.
Yes,
Josh Van won the belt.
Pantoja wants the rematch, and they're waiting to see if how his therapy comes on the shoulder.
Yes. So I would say Pantoja is probably going to get it unless they say they can't do anything for like 4 or 5 months. Then I can see the UFC going, well, we're going to move along real quick,
And let's do Kopp, because Kopp is cocky, confident. He's about 50-50 with the fans. You love his skills, you hate his mouth, and he's so big for the weight class. Let's do it short. Let's make Kopp earn it. Let's make him cut that weight again. What do you think, George? Do you want to see that loudmouth Kopp have to cut the weight and fight Josh Van? Or are we going to just wait and let him be fully replenished?
Nah, man, send it. I love seeing, someone. Yeah, I love seeing the smack talk either get backed up or not get backed up. We all win in that,
Yeah, that's my point. Like, I want to see it. He's run that mouth for so long. He's had steroid allegations, guys. He's missed weight. He's missed weight a bunch of times. But because he's a little guy and he can knock people out, he thinks he can circumvent the system. Hey, give him the title shot, but let's make him make that weight right now. Let's put him in camp. Let's not let him have a big vacation. Let's not let him blow up. Put him in camp right now. If you want that shot and you're going to talk that smack, make that weight. And here's the caveat. If you don't make the weight, which I don't think Manel Kopp can make the weight on short notice like that, 6-8 weeks, Manel Kopp's not making 125, guys. It's not 126. It's for the belt. It's 125. So I don't think Manel Kopp can bring the product that he says he can bring, and I just want to see it. And then let's let Pantoja be completely healed when he comes back and fights for that belt.
George?
What you really want? What you want? You want to hear what I thought about Kyoji?
Yes.
Talk to me about our guy. That's our guy. I don't know if you guys know this now. That's our guy.
Horiguchi darted like a hummingbird on espresso, cut and wobbled Albazi. Unanimous. There was no there. I don't know what that one judge was smoking to call it 29-28. You on crack, boy. Get that man's pull him. Albazi got stung harder, man, than Macaulay Culkin
Whoa.
and My Girl.
Oh.
That was terrible.
Oh no. The bees, his glasses. He can't see without his glasses.
Mario, man, God, what can I say about this? He's 35 and he's putting ass whoopings on people like that at this stage in his career. And what's his record? How many fights does he have?
That's 41.
All of them. All of them.
41. And it should be noted that he was in the UFC before. This is his second stint in the UFC. And when he was in the UFC, he had one person beat him. Mighty Mouse.
Bro, that was a dismantling. A grizzled vet on the force walked up to a homicide and lit up a cigarette and said, "Oh my God," when he watched that.
He did well against Mighty Mouse, too. Mighty Mouse got him with 1 second left in the 5th round by armbar. Also, you know, you mentioned Manel Kopp. Horiguchi's beat Manel Kopp. In Ryzen, that's who he beat to get his title shot. And he choked him.
Well, this is awkward.
Tap him with a choke. So, Manel, get out of the line. There's somebody else here.
I love
All
that
right?
too. I love that.
Yeah. I was hoping that we would get to see a little rematch for Horiguchi's sake with Patchy Mix, but he is no longer in the UFC. They got him the fuck out of here.
Yeah, checks out.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Horiguchi's he's earned back his other losses, you know, minus obviously the Mighty Mouse. Can't really earn that one back. Mighty Mouse retired. They went to different divisions before different promotions before he retired, you know. But he lost to Kai Asakura. He got that one back. He lost to Sergio Pettis. He got that one back, you know. I just would have loved to seen it personally. All right. Let's move off of Kyoji Horiguchi and let's talk about this main event. I fucking told you so. I fucking told you so. All you, everybody. God, I'm so tired of telling people how good Mario Batista is. All right.
Oh.
He's so good, and people just continue to sleep on this man. He goes out there and immediately puts it on Vinicius. Has Vinicius fucking not happy, not having a good time in the first round, and to the point where he comes out in the second round and he's huffing for air. Immediate. In the second round, Mario Batista gets a rear naked choke on him at 4 minutes and 46 seconds. And he gets a submission bonus, gets a 100K bonus on that one. There was a couple of awesome moments in this fight. Batista said he wanted to work on the grappling. He did. And I saw some great grappling from him. At one point, Oliveira goes for a takedown on him, gets the takedown, and then Batista sets a butterfly hook, elevates immediately, sweeps, gets into his guard on top position. Perfect. Then does a double under, bit of a stack pass, gets out of his guard, immediately into side control. The grappling looks so great from him. And then, you know, he goes into a Kimura T or crucifix position, right? And Oliveira bridges into him, pushing him off, giving like a big old bump, pushing him off, to which he switches to the full Kimura, right? And then when he's in that full Kimura, Oliveira then pushes and turns away and then turns into that arm and stands up. When he stands up, Batista steps around and goes to the back. It was a great sequence to see. And once he went to the back, he controlled the position for a second, gets his seatbelt grip and handcuff, and then kind of tosses the arm, shoots the choke deep immediately. And there was no fighting that choke. That choke was locked in the moment he shot it. He didn't have to work under the chin. He got super deep under the chin and tight instantly. Great sequence by Batista, and great to see the grappling is in constant motion by him, man. To do this after you have a grappling loss against Umar looks really good. Looks really good on you. So, yeah, I need people to stop sleeping on Batista. I need people to look past this Umar loss now, and I need him to get some respect on his name. All right, I need him to break through that top 5. Will?
Yeah, very much the same, man. I saw a technician at the top level in the championship level versus a guy who's like essentially a weight bully. Like Vinicius Oliveira's coming into fight week at 165 pounds, fighting at 135 pounds, walking around out of camp at 190 pounds is crazy work. You don't need to be at 135 pounds. It showed in your gas tank and your ability that you built up so much lactic acid in the grappling you couldn't defend yourself. That's fucking terrible. Go to 55 and rely on your skills. Mario Bautista is absolutely a technician. Everything from the footwork that allowed him to be where he needed to be when the opportunity presented itself to put Oliveira down, and the technique he used in jiu-jitsu that Tanner's talking about. He didn't brute force anything, and then you get Oliveira on his back and he's trying to bench press Mario Bautista off him. Guys, as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, at first you learn, okay, let's time the bump and learn how to just stay on top and neutralize the bump. And as you proceed down that road, you learn how to, when they bump, now I'm going to strangle him or remove his arm or get to a position to.
I'm going to use that momentum myself now. That's how it becomes. It turns into, well, thank you for this momentum that I'm now going to use.
Right. So seeing that, Oliveira's got a long way to go in the grappling. He should probably go to 45. He may even need to go to 55. Dustin Poirier walked around at 195 pounds for reference of size, and he fought at lightweight, right? So, sorry, got Ridley right here. So for Oliveira to be that size, man, I just don't like it. I don't like it for his health. I don't like it for his longevity of his career. And it's just a bad look. You need to have the skills to pay the bills. Mario Bautista has that.
Yeah. You show Ridley her homies right here.
Do you see the Franklin?
Man. What was that? Was that a mounted crucifix to back control to a rear naked choke at 446 round 2?
Yeah, a little crucifix to Kimura to back control, rear naked choke. The Kimura is what allowed Batista to get to the back, and it's what forced Oliveira to expose his back.
Batista just came out there and told him, just like the bad kids on that freaking movie, like Talladega Nights, came out there and said, "I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey, Chip."
He did,
and he got a hold of him. I don't think he was all jacked up on Mountain Dew. I think he was jacked up on a lot of water, rehydrating, and maybe some electrolytes. But hey, whatever works. Good for that good sir, and I hope the best for him, and I hope Oliveira figures it out. Batista actually called out for that Sandhagen rematch, and that could be poetry and redemption.
Yeah,
showing how he defeats fuel and fire in this unforgiving arena. There you have it. idiots. UFC Fight Night delivered. Laughs, lessons, and liver shots. Hit subscribe and share with your gym rats. And remember, in MMA and life, you get punched, get up, and keep fucking swinging.
Yep.
As one of our viewers just pointed out, we had a DDP and a crucifix mention. So I feel I should point out, hey, DDP, did you see Oliveira got out of it? Granted, it led to his back and him getting strangled, but he got the fuck out of it. He realized immediately, I need out of this. Oh, man. Also, Hamzat, did you see what Batista did? Huh?
Yeah, push for a finish. But you know what, guys? Next week we get to preview a fight that I'm so excited for in Sean Strickland and Anthony Hernandez. That's going to be straight chaos. I'm straight up here for it. Other than that, I don't think we have anything else, do we, boys?
No, I got nothing.
Ridley says good night.
Yes.
I said good day.
Appreciate it, guys.
All righty.
Yeah, sweet.